remember you said sacrifice yourself to please others and the damage it does to you. Do you think it causes damage because you expecting something from it?
Now, okay, so I don't. And let me tell you why. I there has to be a balance when it comes to giving so much of yourself to others, because sometimes you can pour so much into someone and it's taking everything out of you, so it has to be a balance. And the reason why I say that is because I'm using myself as an example. I raising my kids and being a single mom, like I always felt sorry for the next person. Why? Because I looked at me and I realized at a very young age, I'm gonna make it happen, I'm gonna get it done, and I'm not gonna stop. It don't me and my kids, I'm gonna make it happen. But I noticed that a lot of young girls my age with small kids, I don't know. I don't know if they were just lazy. I don't know what their excuses was. I never really dug into that. But, I would see like your children lacking, or, you may not, I don't know what you did with your food stamps. You got the same amount of kids as I had. So I don't know why you don't got no food to feed your kids. So I would just give and do. Like I would,
Hmm.
uh, do the kids' hair, watch the kids. Y'all can come over to my house. Like I was always that neighborhood mom that took all the kids in the neighborhood in, because I just felt like these parents would get their kids, throw them out the door, and then that's it. But the damage that it caused me is that, one, every resource that I had for me and mine, I'm depleting it because I'm not saving nothing for us, because I'm making
Hmm.
sure everybody else have. So when I say damage, that's the damage that it caused. I wasn't using it smartly. I wasn't being wise about what I was doing. Now, what I was doing, was it wrong? No, it wasn't wrong at all. But I was taking out of my mouth to make sure somebody else had it. And I will just look at it as, because I know I'm gonna have it, and I know we gonna be all right. It didn't matter what I lost to make sure another family was all right. So I
So,
allow people to step on me to come up, instead of coming up myself.
so did it damage you by you starving or not having something to eat, or you just felt you could have did more for yourself than give it to somebody?
Yes, I could have did more for myself than give it to somebody else.
But that wasn't the reason why you did it, though.
Um, no, that wasn't the reason why I did it. That wasn't. I wasn't doing it to gain growth for myself or nothing. I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart, and I saw someone else in need. So I felt like giving it was the best option. But what I've learned, I feel like it should have been a balance. Like I can't do so much to where now you're not even doing for yourself, and I'm just losing and not gaining nothing for myself. So it's like it was a lose lose battle, because now I'm enabling another household instead of pushing somebody to get up off their behind and do it for themselves. I'm doing it for them, and I'm taking from me. So I just
Hmm.
do. I To me, I felt like that whole scenario was a disservice to all parties.
Okay. Okay. So that goes back to what I was saying. So when we give our time, we're looking for a benefit. When you go to work and you give your time, you look for a paycheck for that.
Right.
So when you give your time to a relationship, you're looking for this man to give you something back for it too, as far as either to security or either just companionship or things like that.
Mhm.
When you give your kids something, you look for them to go out there and to represent you in a respectful manner, and
Mhm.
to grow up and be somebody for themselves, so you can see that you did a good job.
Mhm.
So basically, so you did it looking for something for some type of return.
Okay.
So damage means it hurt you or it tore you down or it caused you to perhaps be hungry or to be neglected. Because what I'm getting at is, as far as the damage part,
Got it.
is that you might not didn't receive the outcome that you needed to be done. If
Mhm.
they didn't receive it, that's their fault. Just like you said, you always know you was gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So by them not accepting your friendship and actually taking advantage of it and helping to expand themselves, that hurted them more than it damaged you.
Mm. Now that's true listening to you saying it, but in that moment, back during that time that I was going through that, that is not what I saw. I saw me being damaged in that outcome. In
Because
that
it's turning a negative eye towards being generous and kind, and it's making people selfish.
mm,
No, it's about me, me, me. So now we in a me culture now.
right.
You might not have seen your blessing right then, because if God give it to you every time you do something good, now you expecting something all the way from God just to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
It may come to you 5 years from now,
Right.
but you did what you were supposed to do.
Right.
If they didn't pick up on God giving them the extended hand and they take and grab it and take advantage of it, that's their loss. That's
Yeah.
their damage, not your damage.
Right. Now that's what I had to come to learn.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's a very good topic.
Mm,
But until you just broke it down to why it's a very good topic, that's not even where I was at. I
yeah.
wasn't even on the fact of that it's now turning into a negative outlook as far as servicing someone.
Mm,
Because it is turning into that. Because like you said, you're looking for something in return. Now back then when I was doing everything in my power to basically be a better example for the girls that lived around me, and I felt like we was all living in the same situation, dealing with the same things. I didn't look at what I always accomplished throughout all of that, no matter what I gave. It was my, like my family. They were more so like, you need to stop doing that. You shouldn't do that. Like, how can you give to them and you got kids yourself, or you living on food stamps yourself, or you going through this yourself? Why are you doing this? But in my heart, I just knew that it was right, and these kids are suffering. So, in spite of whatever their parents were doing or whatever their parents was doing with their money, that was not my business. That was not my concern. It's more so like, okay, well, I feel like that this is what I should do. And this is what I want to do. It's in me to do it. But never did I ever look at in that and during that time did I ever look at your kids never went hungry. Your bills never got cut. You always had a roof over their head. Um, I wanted more and I didn't have more. And that's what I paid attention to. So now, like looking back on that, like I was telling you, I was writing a book. Looking back on that, what I did not see was those things that God wanted me to see. Nothing never stopped with everything that I was giving. And I gave a lot. Like I was giving my kids clothes that I'm like, it's all right. These babies ain't got no clothes. I'm gonna get y'all some more clothes. I was giving away clothes, but I just knew in my heart that I was always gonna be on top and we was always gonna be taken care of. But during that time, that's not what I saw. And that's why I wanted to have that. That's why I think this is a good conversation.
yeah, because let's look at it like this. If God rewards you, start rewarding you for every good deed you've done, or if it turned out how you wanted it for your benefit, would you stop doing it for him and start doing it for the benefits?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like when we start podcasting, then to the money coming in. So now we sometimes we lose vision of why we did it. And now we're not even thinking about our topics like we used to
Right.
because
Right.
we was in it for the help of people. Now we see them $60,000 checks, them $130,000 checks.
Then
So
you're gonna lose your heart of it.
that's why God, you didn't get what you was expecting because now, oh, now when I'm doing all this, I'm getting this. So now you lose your root cause of it. Now you start doing it for the benefits.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then too, it shows your true nature when you say, "Well, I didn't get this and I didn't get this, but I'm gonna continue to do it. It's the
Yeah.
right thing." And some people say, "Girl, you stupid as hell. Why
Yeah.
you keep doing that? Them motherfuckers keep taking that shit from you, this and that."
You know how long I heard that. That's why it was so hard. I'm like, well, Lord, I don't know what to do. I don't know if am I right or am I wrong.
You
I
know
just
what I'm saying?
I'm just doing it because it feel right. But these people, these kids, these babies. So I always had to. I always felt like I was fighting against the grain when it came to my, my family's opinion, because they always,
Yeah.
you dumb. Why you doing it like this? Why you doing it like? Well, I don't want to do it that way. I think God want me to do it this way, and lo and behold, don't let me mention God, because we don't see you sitting down reading no Bible all the time, and you ain't in church 24/7, so you don't even know God the way I know God. I'm like, now it's levels to knowing God. I don't know what to do here, Lord.
You see what
So
I'm saying? So, where is your works? Where is your heart? Just going, just praising and worshiping God. We
right,
weren't created to worship and praise. God gave us the key and said, "Go take care of what I gave you.
yeah,
Go out and be a great man to your family and your wife, and go change the world. Then you go be the great man that I created.
yeah,
Period."
period, yeah,
So,
yeah,
matter of fact, when we keep going and God, please help me and tell me, God, tell me what to do today. Man, you ain't listening to nothing that
nothing,
you claim you've read or that you claim you studied. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
like people like that is always gonna be stuck in the rut, and they are
yeah,
never gonna really live life at their fullest potential because they stuck and they stubborn, and they self conceited. So because they're looking at it, if I do this and do this, it's gonna best benefit me.
yeah,
They're thinking about me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But you're thinking about the same way how Jesus thought, how we
yeah,
supposed to think. How is this world living how it was intended? Y'all get it back to what it was before because you are the ones that destroyed it. So
mm-hmm.
as that first quote, what that first quote said, you live how you want the world to be.
Yeah,
You sitting there reading the Bible all doggone day long, man, but you ain't putting in no works.
mm,
So yeah, so that's why I'm I'm glad I went over that because when they say damage, that made people like, yeah, I don't want to be hurt. Because every time you do something right, people ain't gonna do you right anyway. And guess who's sitting in the background doing like this? Like, yeah, I got their ass. The devil. He like
yeah. No, that's very, very true. And it's funny that you even say that, because I even talk about that, like with people. I look at my mom and my grandmother. They have
Mhm.
one terrible relationship, and they never got in another relationship again. And they look at me and they like, I don't even know how you even trying to be with a man child. I wouldn't want to be. I'm like, well, I just can't. If I just give up on everything that I know God got for me, and I'll never want to love nobody again. I'll never want to do. I'ma just be a hermit. I might as well
Mm.
just be in a shell and be alone,
Yeah.
cause because then it's I might as well just stop living. I'm not living. So I
Mm.
those are that's another topic that you know um that I think is important. People just, instead of just continuing in spite of, because I can't change another person. Just like you said, me doing for those women, I don't know what it changed for them. I don't know if it gave any, if I planted any type of good seed. I didn't care to know. I just knew what I was doing from my heart was good. And in spite of what everybody said and what everybody would, even though I thought about it amongst myself and on my alone time, like, am I being stupid? Am I doing this wrong? I led by my heart. Like, I walked where God told me to go. That's where I'm gonna go. It just felt right. I felt like that's what He is saying to me, and that's what I did. And I think that people get so caught up in to what they expect the person should do after you have blessed them with a good word, with a good blessing, and now I expect you to do this. That's too much expectation on the blessing that God asked you to bless somebody else with.
Yeah, when people say, man, I did all this for them bitches, and then at one time they couldn't do that. Hold on, man.
Are obligated to. I talk about that a lot with people.
Now you're doing it out of expectations.
Out of ex-
So now you're doing it as a come up move. Now, if I
yeah,
do this, maybe I can get this.
yeah, yeah,
When we speak about that, don't allow the devil's tricks to influence your heart. Like if we didn't have what we have implemented in America, we can be going through like what them people going through in Sudan right now, just getting
right,
killed, slaughtered. You
right,
see, but we got the luxury where we can make podcasts and make millions of dollars off of it. You know what I'm saying? Where
right.
we can do just about whatever we set to do because of men have went out and sacrificed them lives to give us that type of luxury in this world right here. So too, we must learn that yeah, you sacrifice yourself for the betterment good of society of what God has given you. So too, there's nothing wrong with sacrificing yourself.
Now that's very true. That's very true.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's gonna be a very, very. good topic to talk about when we go in depth with that.
Yeah. When you think about it, if you're a real selfish person, what benefit out of life do you really get?
Yeah,
Okay, no, you got all these resources, all this stuff, and like you say, now you're a real hermit. Cause you just stuck, you just grabbing on all this stuff, and you
all this
carrying,
stuff. Yeah,
and you won't help nobody, you won't talk to nobody. So now you got nobody in your life. You haven't really accomplished nothing. Cause when you die, all that resources you was grabbing on to gonna get spread out and given to other people.
giving away. Hmm.
So what did you accomplish? But you accomplished a bunch of resources so other people can take it for free.
When you break it down, yeah, when you break it down, that's exactly what you did
So you really break it down like that, you sacrifice all that for other people.
for other people. Did exactly what you didn't want to do. Why you- That's what it is.
so when you look at it, there's no way for you to dodge God's intended creation. In a way, it's gonna go back to what God intended for it to be.
Hey, amen to that.
And you remember I told you before, we make life harder than it gotta be, man. It's not this difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're gonna really open up people's eyes because really, man, life don't have to be that stressful. Hey, just do your best. I want to touch this subject, and then too, I may send you. I'm sending you the video.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a it's a station called Gaia, and it has you probably heard of it. And it had something I was watching one day, and it had that us as human beings was we descendants of different beings from different parts of the universe, right? And then too, I said, damn. And when you really think about it, and you watch it, it makes kind of sense. Because I said, now it don't mean that there's not one main creator, because there's a God. But
Hmm.
but because you think about it, when you have all these different races, say we all did come from Adam and Eve. Well then how did the races change?
That is true because I have thought about that a lot, like a lot. That's a good subject because I think about that a lot. Yeah.
And because I know there's something in outer space. We ain't the only beings in space where you got thousands of light years. Like they said, it's something traveling this way now. It's going 100,000 miles an hour, and it's going to take 3 years for it to get here. No, because it's like so many light years away. I'm like, damn.
Right.
So if so if the universe is this big, there's no way we the there's no way we the only beings here. So to the reason we get visits from them sometimes, is it because it was a research to see how we would act, to see if we can coincide with each other,
Mm,
and you know what I mean, the things like that. But how this video breaks it down and what it says, I said,
mhm.
damn, that makes a lot of sense,
Makes
man.
a lot of
Because
sense.
because even when you think about some of the Egyptian drawings on the wall, it
Hmm.
shows different beings of like really evidence of you know what I'm saying, like extraterrestrials.
Right.
Because and some of the things that we've learned over the years
Right.
had to be taught to us. Because just say this right here. If we was never taught nothing and we really came from caveman hitting rocks together, how in the hell you develop from that to um building structures like the pyramids
Right.
and flying? Something had to teach us this, because you just don't all of a sudden be sitting there caveman, can't talk, and hitting rocks together and grabbing stuff, and somehow you develop now flying saucers and
Right.
electricity and all that. No, buddy.
Right.
You know
Right. Right.
what
No, I feel you on that. I'll be thinking about that too. So that's definitely a good topic to bring up. Um, and I like that. You think outside the box because that's what I that's how I see it. I see that as someone
I'm
who thinks outside the box, and with somebody, yeah, I'm not just going based off of what I hear. I'm actually doing some self thinking into this, and let's get to the bottom of this because it doesn't make sense. So it's like the fight that everybody want to fight don't even make sense because let's go back to the beginning of it and scratch this part, and then maybe we could talk about some other parts. But Nah. I be thinking about
Yeah.
some kind of off the wall subjects that I'll be like, people will probably look at me like I'm crazy on this one.
No, but those the good subjects because guess what? Those that's originality.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
your own. And then people want to hear because all this men and women and we can't get along. Hey man, all that stuff is getting old and burnt out because it's really not even that serious. You know what I'm
Agree.
saying? Now, too, I can break man, I can kill that whole subject in one damn podcast and then two and be done with it because it's
Agree.
not really that difficult. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Right.
like people now we fighting and arguing and going against each other. You got the manosphere and you got the red pill and you got so and they create controversy like even Charleston White made a good point. He
Mm-hmm.
said that people are so stupid that I have made myself a millionaire by just talking shit. Like he said this right here, and this show you how simple minded a lot of people are, and it's really sad. Charleston White said, "I go after big name people, and I disrespect them. I say certain things to them, and by them paying me attention." Gave me recognition to where now I'm a millionaire.
Mm.
Right now, if you a queen, Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody you don't know is talking bad about you, that's a peasant. Why would you give them the time of day in your head to even respond to them?
Right. Because I'm not going to.
So he said, y'all big time rappers, y'all way up here. What y'all giving somebody like me down here the time of day for?
Mm.
That show you how weak and simple minded that y'all are.
Right. Right.
And now he's a millionaire because of that.
Mm.
So now preachers are rich because of that. All these so-called life coaches are rich because of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I can sell you a narrative. The same way as the movie Color Purple and all that type stuff.
In the
The
house.
same I
Sorry.
can I can push a narrative and then get you to fall into it and keep selling you all this BS and now you stuck on it
Mm-hmm.
because the most of us are sheep.
That's true. That's true. It's so sad. It's so many levels. But that's exactly how people get caught.
Don't fall for the okie doke and don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, man.
Right. Or at least educate yourself or want to, you know? Like sometimes
Mm.
people hear something and they fly by it and they live by it and they only heard it one time and they ain't even pick up a book or even Google anything to find out the information on their own.
But even that, Stacy,
Mm-hmm.
some people got to be trained and coached by people who are really of true hearted faith because you can send people out there and give them books, but do they even have the mental capacity to be able to comprehend it?
That is very, very true. Because then they only taking their own understanding, which is very, very true. But
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
some people do need to be guided, and
Yeah.
I do agree. I definitely agree with that one.